The world is full of do-gooders, charity workers, missionaries, volunteers of every sort, trying to change the world for the better. They don't all succeed, of course. But in the American Southwest, Terrence Smith found some do-gooders who are actually doing good.
At the Zuni Indian Reservation in New Mexico, there's always a special welcome for this tour group, sponsors from the Futures for Children organization. These are people from all over the country who are changing the lives of Indian children for the better.
We've finally been able to reach an objective, a goal, a long sought-after goal here in the community schools of being able to have a low dropout rate of 0%.
Cal Sesawat, the Zuni, had a Futures for Children sponsor when he was growing up.
In our language, there is no word for orphan. Somebody was related to you in one fashion or another. So this whole concept of sponsorship should be maybe looked at in that fashion with your sponsored student, that you are an extended family member.
Wait a minute, Matthew.
The children who benefit from the program live on the reservations with their families and get modest financial help from their sponsors. The money helps buy clothes and books. More important by far, the sponsor and child get to know each other through letters. Close relationships often develop.
When do they start baseball?
Betty Begley sponsors Darren Layetze.
We got together about 2 years ago, and it's been a wonderful experience. We have gotten along, I think, pretty well. What do you think?
Yeah.
This is the first time we've met tonight. It's really exciting, and I looked at him, he looked exactly like his pictures.
Carol Ann Kopp has been sponsoring Al Ray Johnson, a Navajo boy, for 5 years.
I'd like to, if he'll let me, see Al Ray all the way on through school. I have nephews. I'd like him to be able to visit sometime. We'll have to talk with his grandmother.
Would you like that, Al Ray?
Yes.
I guess when you get down to it, I think it was just the fact to know that there was somebody else outside your family, outside your community who cared and who wanted to see somebody to be able to go on through their educational endeavors and to be able to complete one of their life's dreams.
Joanne Melcher grew up in the Santo Domingo Pueblo near Albuquerque as the sponsored child of a Massachusetts couple. She remembers the first time she was visited by Sybil Stone, the woman who became her second mother, who took time to write to her to care about her future.
When I first saw her, she came to the door and I said, "This is it, this is where I live." And she saw me and I saw her, so we hugged and we both cried. And it was just very emotional, to meet someone that has helped you for a long time.
Well, you've grown, and I haven't.
During the group's tour of Indian communities, there were other first-time meetings between sponsors and the children.
There you are. Hello. I'm so happy to meet you.
Lois Rosano of San Francisco has been sponsoring Latoya Tahi, a Navajo girl, for 4 years.
Thank you.
On the tour, she met Latoya and her family for the first time.
Thank you.
You're just as beautiful as I thought.
It's very emotional for me.
I know.
I've been waiting a long time.
May I?
Yeah.
That's not really him.
After 4 years of correspondence, you do know each other, maybe at a deeper level in some ways.
Thank
you for sharing your daughter with me.
It's very inexpensive to sponsor a Native American child. It's $360, $1 a day. That's not much, and it's not the most important part of what we're doing here.
We're real proud of her. You know, we're trying to change some of this. Well, we're not coming to school, but she's always come to school.
The main thing we're giving them is somebody cares about them, and I think that encourages them.
I get very good, you know, reports on her grades and her attendance, and she's enthusiastic about the idea of education.
Today, some 2,700 American Indian children in 22 tribes in Arizona and New Mexico have sponsors. One sign of success, less than 2% of the children drop out of high school. Outside the program, the dropout rate among American Indian children can run as high as 60%. When Futures for Children began its work 30 years ago, there was skepticism. Ruth Frazier is president of the organization.
It took us 4 years to establish our credibility, to establish what we weren't, that we're not a religious organization, that we're not an adoption agency, and that we are not representing anybody else's agenda. What Futures is about is working with people to cooperate together for their children.
In 3 decades, the organization has helped more than 6,000 children. These youngsters represent the second generation. Cal Sesawa, who heads the American Indian Institute at Arizona State University, and Joanne Melcher, now the Assistant Education Director at Futures for Children, were part of the first generation.
A lot of the students have developed better self-esteem. They've gotten the confidence because they, you know, keep in touch with their sponsors, and they really help encourage them to stay in school.
We're starting to see a second generation of youth coming into the program, and hopefully some of us of that first generation can contribute to their efforts and also to the community effort.
Betty Begley.
It's an opportunity for me to learn, to see things that I had never seen before, and to have an extended family that I know cares about me.
The most important part is that which comes out of true friendship.
Ruth Frazier.
We think you can learn a lot from a book. You can learn a lot from driving through a community sometimes, but the best way to know anybody is on a person-to-person level, and how wonderful to see the world through the eyes of a child.